Vande Mataram everyone. Now, this is all about the last session of the Unit 1 Teaching Aptitude. Miscellaneous topics, whatever the topics remained still in the series, MCQ series of the Teaching Aptitude, we are going to discuss here. I hope you understood. The UGC NET paper 1, we have the 10 topics, and this is the last worksheet of the Unit 1, that is Teaching Aptitude, miscellaneous topics. So I hope you are really understood. You can find all the videos in the playlist. I will be putting the link of the playlist in the description of the video and the description of WhatsApp group. So I hope you really understood. If you really like the videos, you just share it to your friends and you just subscribe the channel and press on the bell icon for the more updates. You will be getting further more topics like research aptitude, people and environment, mathematical aptitude, data interpretation, people and environment, higher education. We are going to get all the things. I hope you really understood. Yeah. Going forward, worksheet. Yes. The first worksheet is 16th worksheet. We are going forward with the first question. CHEER. What is this CHEER stands for? CHEER stands for Children Enrichment Education Through Radio. It is Children Enrichment Education Through Radio. So it mainly focuses on preschool students of underprivileged and socially deprived classes students who are generally studying in the Anganwadi schools. So this is a collaboration, a joint venture program of All India Radio, Ministry of Women and Child Development, and NCERT, National Council for Education, Research and Training. Right? So this is joint venture of All India Radio, Ministry of Women and Child Welfare, and NCERT. It started on the 2nd October of the Gandhi Jayanti, which we can term as the Gandhi Jayanti of 1992. 2nd October 1992. So this program has been running or originated in the 4 states. So those 4 states are Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Orissa. So 4 states: Andhra Pradesh, again I am saying Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Orissa and Haryana. Yes, it has been originated. It has been started on 2nd October 1992. Right? So this program mainly focuses on the preschool students who are studying in Anganwadi, of the students who are socially deprived. I hope you clearly understood, right? Yes. We are just going forward to the next question. Educational TV was first introduced in India in 1968. In 1968, the educational TV was first introduced in India, right? Yeah, we are going to the next. SITE stands for Satellite Instructional Television Experiment. Again, SITE stands for Satellite Instructional Television Experiment. Yes, fourth question. When an action or response produces a pleasant or rewarding outcome, that behavior is likely to be repeated, and responses that bring displeasure or pain are likely to be weakened and fade. It is called as Thorndike's laws of effect. So this Thorndike's laws of effect mainly deals with, so whenever there is some kind of response or any action is created for what, so that action will lead to good rewarding outcome, right? What does that outcome will leads to? It leads to good behavior. Behavior is likely to be repeated, and responses that bring displeasures or pain are likely to be weakened and fade. So that is called as Thorndike's laws of effect. Thorndike's laws of effect mainly deals with a response or action that will create a good cause, and it will be if the same action will be repeated, then automatically there is a good outcome and the behavioral changes is the main output. Yes. Fifth question. National Literacy Mission was established in the year 1988. Again, National Literacy Mission was established in the year 1988. The main aim of National Council for Teachers Education. National Council for the Teacher Education is formed in order to enhance the skills among the teachers. So what happens if no, if the skills are really enhanced? So we have the options. The main aim of the National Council for Teacher Education is to open colleges of education, to promote research in education, to maintain standards in the college of education, and to provide grant to the colleges of education. Right. To maintain the standards in the college of education. Why? What is the need of maintaining? So whenever National Council for Teachers Education will enhance the skills during the service of the teachers. So whatever the skills are practical in nature or practically happening, whatever the skills are really required in the survival of present day generation need to be acquired. So for what? What is the purpose of acquiring? To maintain the standards in the college of education, right? So as we earlier discussed in the previous worksheets, so how the standards in the college of education will be increased? Only through the teaching learning process. Yes, if there is a good amount of changes in the teaching learning process, then automatically there is a scope of maintaining standards in the college of education, right? So the main objective of the National Council for Teaching Education is to maintain the standards in the college of education through enhancing the skills required to the teachers during the teaching process. Yeah, the seventh question is kindergarten system of education was constituted by. Kindergarten system of education was constituted by Froebel. Froebel, you just forget, you do not forget the name Froebel. Froebel has, he propounded the system of kindergarten system. What is this kindergarten system? Kindergarten system is a pace of learning of a child directly before entering, prior entering into the standard one, first standard, they have to spend the 2 or 3 years of their education, their life, child learning process. Kindergarten is a child learning process which helps the child to introduce to the environment of learning, to enhance their mental standard towards psychological standards or mental standards towards learning approach. So this kindergarten system will help the students or children to get habituated to the school nature. So this system was constituted by Froebel, right? Constituted by Froebel. National Council for Educational Research. National Council of Educational Research and Training (NCERT) was established in. Yeah. So NCERT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, was established in the year 1961. So it is an autonomous body. It has been established under the status of autonomous. So what is the purpose? What is the need of this establishment of NCERT? NCERT has been established to assist to whom? To whom it has to assist? To assist central government and state government. Central government as well as state government in what aspect? In what aspect? In the aspect of improving the qualitative education in the school education. Yes, in order to improve the quality in the school education. So in order to assist, what are the steps to be taken by the state government and the central government to increase the quality in the school education? The NCERT has been established under the autonomous status in the year 1961. You may get the questions. So what is the purpose of? You may also get the question, what is the purpose of establishing NCERT? NCERT. So NCERT has been established in order to increase the quality in school education. So it assists in providing the measures to the central government and the state government in increasing the quality. So the main objective of the NCERT is to promote and coordinate the research. Yes, the research aspects which are related to the school education. Point number 1. Point number 2. To prepare the study materials or to prepare the textbooks, model charts, etc. to promote the research among the teacher and the students. Yes. So NCERT has been established in the year 1961. You should not forget it, right? Yeah. The main purpose of new education policy is in order to increase the overall aspects of education system, improve the whole education system to enhance the quality to increase the quality in the education of school, primary level, secondary level, and in the higher education level even. Yes. So new education policy, we can expect many questions in this attempt, since there are a lot of enhancements, a lot of amendments in the national education policy. So we have to take care of it. Yes. It is desirable that students play games in the campus as why? It is desirable that students play games in the campus as it develops cooperation and physical balance. Yes. So cooperation, physical balance is the most important factor required to any kind of student to get settled in their academics, right? So it develops the cooperation and the physical balance. It makes them physically fit. It lessens the burden on the teacher. Yes, of course. So it develops cooperation and physical balance automatically. So whenever the physical balance has been created in the student, automatically his powers, its interest towards the subject increases, right? So automatically it will also help to reduce the balance among the teacher. Yeah. Family is the main agency of informal education. So normally any child soon after soon after taking the birth, he or she will not come directly to the school. So before coming to the school, they will, uh, the father and the mother in the house will play a key role in training them, right? Yes. So the father and the mother are the constituents of informal education to the child. So informal agency will be like family is the main agency of informal education. Formal education happens when he or she, the child, enters into the school, right? Yes. So the family is the main agency of the informal education in the life. In the life, as the formal education, informal education also plays a crucial role in the child development, personality development of the child, right? Yes. Next question. To whom the responsibility of organization of curricular activities should be stored with. Generally, the responsibility of organization of curricular activities will be dealt to the principal. So, in the curriculum, as we have discussed in the earlier worksheets, in the curriculum, what is it called as? Both the syllabus, structure, activities, all are included in the curriculum. So, the whole responsibility for the curriculum is the principal itself, right? Principal. The aim of education. What is the purpose of education? Many people think that education. The purpose of education is to give only the employment, job. No, it is a wrong assumption or wrong perception or wrong understanding. So the main aim should be to prepare the students for the practical life. Yes. So education is not only for the job. Education is not only for temporary survival. No, education is to enhance the skills of the practical life. So, which is really important to the student life, right? To develop the vocational skills in the students, maybe to develop the social awareness in the students, to prepare the students for the examinations. No, it is absolutely no. Many people think that education is only for the examinations. No, students got habituated to prepare for the examinations, but the purpose of education is to prepare the students for the practical life. Yeah. Next question. The contribution of taxpayers in the primary education is in the form of education cess. Primary education and secondary education we have. So education cess and education cess and secondary education cess are the two tax brackets which are included in the calculation of income tax as well of any kind of organization. So for this, the contribution of the taxpayers in the primary education. In the primary education, so generally in the primary education it is like what is it called as, yeah, first class to seventh class we can go for it. First class to seventh class, whatever the contribution we are paying as in tax, that will be part of educational cess. So education cess is usually very, you need to remember very much, very carefully. You just understand education cess is a part of contribution paid by the parents towards their child education in their primary education. The priority to the girls education should be given because why? Priority to girls education should be given because why? The girls are more intelligent in comparison than the boys? No, not really. The girls are lesser in number than the boys. The girls were badly discriminated in the favor of boys in the past. Partly yes, only girls are capable of leading for the social change. Yes, since as we already discussed in the earlier status, there was a lot of a gender discrimination happened, right? So in order to in order to fill that kind of gap in the society, the girls are only the capable of leading the social changes. So the priority of the girls education should be given. So that is the purpose how many state governments are providing a welfare educations towards the welfare of the girls, right? Many institutions have been set up. For example, if we take consider in Telangana as well as in the Andhra, we have so Telangana state welfare, social welfare, tribal welfare, basic welfare, for especially many number of institutions have been set up only for the girls rather than boys. So the girls are capable of leading the social changes. Yeah. So I hope you clearly understanding the worksheets, and you just subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon for the more updates. We are going to post many worksheets relating to other chapters and other books even. It is not only the KVS Madan. We are going to post many number of questions other than KVS Madan series. I hope you really understanding well, right? Subscribe the channel, click on the bell icon for the more updates, right? Yeah. Going forward to the 16th question. Success of integrated education depends on what? Success on integrated education depends on the attitudinal changes in the teachers. Yes. See, listen, integrated education doesn't mean or doesn't include only a textbook material. No, textbook stuff is not only the component, as well as extracurricular activities, assignments, projects, seminars, workshops, conferences, all the things comes under integrated education. So this integrated education will be happen success or will be succeeded only through the attitudinal changes in the teacher. Teacher's attitude should really change in order to survive in the integrated education. Without attitudinal change in the teacher, there is no chance of no scope of getting there is no scope of getting success in the integrated education. The quality of schools education exclusively depends upon the quality of teachers education. Yes, so teachers education is really important in the schools, especially since that is an primary stage of learning among the children. So the quality of teachers education will depends, it's a dependent factor for the quality of the school's education. The idea of the basic education was founded by Mahatma Gandhi, who is also called as father of nation, India. 19th question. In-service teacher training can be made more effective by what? In-service training, after joining or after recruiting the teachers into the positions, normally some kind of trainings will be taken place. So what is the purpose? Trainings. What is the purpose of taking this trainings for the teachers? In order to upgrade the skills, upgrade the knowledge which is required in order to deal with the students in the present scenario. So for that purpose, how the training will be effective? Yes, using training package which is well prepared in advance. No, making it an a residential program. Residential program do not make any program success. Using cooperative approach, practicing training follow procedures. Yes, that is very very important. Follow procedures. So whatever the thoughts or whatever the things, whatever the content taught in the training, that should be followed. That procedure should be followed post training. Yes, that practicing training follow procedures are more important in making training success. In making inside this teacher training effective, right? Yeah. Next question. Who developed the interaction analysis category system in education for increasing the teachers' effectiveness? Teachers' effectiveness. So Flander, Rayon, Amundsen, and Simon. That is, Flander developed the interaction analysis category system in education for increasing the teachers' effectiveness. Yes. One of the important areas of moral development was proposed by Lawrence Kohlberg. Lawrence Kohlberg. Character is developed by willpower, yes, of course, conducted behavior, morality, all the above. Character will be developed by the willpower, conduct and behavior, morality, all the above. All the above are the factors of the characters. Spare the rod and spoil the child. This is assumption is related to the type of discipline which has been advocated in Victorian era. Yes, what is the meaning of spare the rod and spoil the child? If you spare the rod, what is the meaning of spare the rod? You are making not use of any rods, like you are not at all punishing them physically. If you do not punish them physically, then it will lead to spoil in the life. People may not, the students, the children may not know what is the right and what is the wrong. So, sparing the rod, if you are not punishing them physically, it may lead to the wrong consequences, negative consequences in future. So, spare the rod and spoil the child. This is an assumption which is related to the type of discipline which has been advocated in the Victorian era. In the Victorian era, determinant of teaching skill training is the determinant of teaching skill training is an components. Yes, what are the components like? So, what is the determinant of teacher skill training? Who are the what are components? The supervisors or the trainees, infrastructure. All are the components of teaching skill training program. So, these are the components are the determinants. Which of the following is an approach to the educational planning? Manpower approach, social demand approach, both A and B. Manpower approach. Manpower approach. Man is born free, but everywhere he is in chain. This statement has been given by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Rousseau is the person who has given the statement, man is born free, but everywhere he is in the chains. So this statement has been given by Rousseau. Just remember Rousseau. The purpose of new educational policy is to review the education. To review the educational policies and procedures are followed in present scenarios. So, what are the steps to be taken, or what are the measures to be taken to enhance or to upgrade the content in the material and as well as in the approach, teaching learning approach. So, to review the education, how? So, what are the steps to take? What are the steps to be taken to enhance the values in the education in order to provide the skills? How the vocational education to be upgraded, and how the job giving process and job taking process will be enhanced. All these things are included in the new education policy. So, reviewing the education policy is the purpose of new education policy, right? 28th question. The academic performance of students can, so how can academic performance of students can be improved if parents are encouraged to, so yeah, the academic performance of students can be improved if the parents are encouraged to. How? So, if the parents are encouraged to interact with teachers frequently, automatically the students, whenever the parents, whenever the parents' communication towards teachers increases, then automatically the teacher, the teachers' interest towards students, teachers' opinion or teachers focus on the students increases only by the interaction of parents with the teachers. Parents should interact with the teachers on regular basis so that the teachers focus on students increases, right? I hope you clearly understanding. Yes, yeah. If a parent approaches a teacher to do some favor to his or her part in the examination, so whenever the parent asking the teacher to make a favor or to help the student in the examination, not in the classroom, in the examination, then that is not the correct thing. The teacher should not accept it. He should not rude. He should not behave rude, but he should refuse the politely. He should refuse politely and firmly. So when the children become mischievous, and disobedient in the classroom, when the children become mischievous and disobedient in the classroom, the teacher should examine. What is the meaning of mischievous? Mischievous is nothing but lacking the confidence on teaching, learning aspect. So whenever the student is lacking in the confidence, the teacher should examine in what way he is teaching, he or she teaching, what is the method he is following. teacher's method and subject knowledge should be examined. He or she should be review the teaching methods and knowledge of the content to make it easy towards learning, right? I hope you clearly understood, right? So again, I am reminding you. So if you subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon for the more updates, and you share it to your friends, you know, yeah, just share the video to your friends who are really preparing for the UGC NET, that is JRF, or set any state eligibility tests, any degree lecturer positions, junior lecturer positions, or any other PGT, any kind of vacancies, teaching vacancies. If you have any doubts or concerns, feel free to write on the comment section, or you write to the purnaeducate@gmail.com. So subscribe the channel and like this channel and like the video. I hope you clearly understood, right? So we are going to upload more videos in the future. Definitely we are going this forward. So I hope you really understood. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Jai Hind.